Alright, welcome back everyone, I'm still Evil Tim, and this is still Let's Play Bodycount. So let's get back to playing this great work of literature, shall we? In the last episode we did the first two levels, so in this episode we're going to do the next two, because doing the previous two again would just be silly and not get us anywhere. And doing the two before that would be impossible, so upgrade Explosive Rounds 1. If we fire that we'll have Explosive Rounds 0, and then we'll be right back to where we started. Perhaps that's the game trying to figure things out, or perhaps it's a decent piece of advice, since firing off the explosive rounds is a silly thing to do, you see. You'll be seeing them at the end of this video, though. It's kind of underwhelming, and you should not be prepared to be whelmed at any point. So let's find out which place we're going to ruin with our presence this time. We have to investigate a power signature. Satellite surveillance has picked up an unidentified power signature coming from an ore mine in the Tsenga area. The mine is controlled by the militia, which draws questions about the signature's origins. What's the mine? You just said that. The network also believes there's a senior militia agent hiding somewhere in the area. Get there and investigate, then find the agent and to take him out. To dinner, you see. There he is. Isn't he beautiful? We shall surely have a romantic date with flowers and such. Okay, so I've got 1,000 kills using the Tavor. That's actually my favorite weapon. You'll see it in 2 levels time and you'll find out why. However, that is for the future. This is the present, which is not the future.
All over this area.
And audio spikes all over this game.
Neither side's using anything that should draw this much power. We're gonna have to sweep the area.
But it's really dusty, you know. It's going to take forever, and you forgot to give me my underbarrel broom, so I'm not going to listen to you. I'm just going to walk around killing people instead, like. So we're going to scan the power source. Well, you should give them a truck, then. That will make them happy, you see. Okay, so there's a P226. Okay, covert handgun, the only silenced weapon available. Low damage flesh and surfaces, and accuracy is a must. Luckily, it has that, so we are in a good place. Alright, so G36 and an MP7 in here. I'm not really sure why. Maybe that's supposed to be where we got them from in the previous first level thing. But that's just a plot hole, like the one in that guy's skull, you see. Oh, here we are in the blasting area, so we'd better blast someone. You, sir, you look like a volunteer. I'm going to blast you. There we go, with the loudest suppressed pistol in the entire world. It's a P226R rather than a P226. Meanwhile, up here is the best actor in the game. He is a legend in his own right, and surely stories will be written about him for many years. He is a third guy who gets shot in the head. He's currently in makeup, you see. This is a very important role, and he doesn't want to fluff it, but there he is. Let's sight in on him very carefully, that he may go down in history. There you go, sir. Oscar nomination straight away. Surprise kill, a headshot.
Some sort of underground power line. Still can't see what's pulling the power, though.
Anyone know what she's talking about?
I'll give these to someone, see if they can build a map. Keep tracing them.
Okay, so she wants to trace a map that she's going to build out of power lines, I suppose. She's a very strange lady, I think. This guy over here had a klaxon in his head, so he's a very strange man as well. We let it out, you see, by putting a hole in there. Though, the plot of this game doesn't really make any sense, because they try to do like the whole big generic twist at the end that, oh, you believe the things that the developers told you, you silly goose. But, none of the things that she says early on in the game actually make any sense in light of that plot twist, because she is apparently supposed to be in... Yes, thank you. She is apparently supposed to be in a target base, and she is a target operative somehow, doing all of this under her own steam, trying to take on the organization she is in fact part of. We are apparently a target operative, not a network operative. The network was destroyed by the target. We'll find out who the target is in just a minute, but... So we apparently forgot that too. So it says there, Yeaaaah, Overseas Development Company. I guess this is supposed to be like a whole thing about like exploitation of resources or something. The problem with that is that the Nigerian mining industry is state-owned, so they kind of flubbed their history and logic there, like. So we'll ignore that and continue further onwards. There's a bomb there. We might find some relevance in that later, but we probably won't. There's some guys here also. They're hiding behind a pointless barricade placed nowhere, so let's blow up that, whatever it was, and then we will have to deal with this man here, Knees Nedrich, who is known for doing that to people throughout his life. We'll proceed back out here so that we can draw them back into a killing zone, that we might steal all of their stuff. It does actually look a bit like Killzone 3, doesn't it? That's when they oversaturated that one. So this is apparently... This place looks like a diamond mine, but there are bucket wheel excavators which have converted themselves into cranes in an illogical fashion. So that's whatever it is, it's not a sensible. So neither are we. Yeah, so you might notice that this level is a little bit threadbare on the whole content side, and it actually basically plays like a sort of Call of Duty multiplayer level, but it's got baddies in it instead of mere immaturities. Oh, that's not a good thing. Meanwhile, we've killed that man. He was the only thing protecting this forklift truck, so we may destroy it as an act of military sabotage and save the day once again. But around here is a man who is not friendly. You, sir, you're not a good person. You're going to make me have to become invincible to deal with you. I can do that because of my intelligence, which allows me to know the velocities of all your bullets and not get hit by them. It's like gun kata or something, I suppose. There we go. So now we will suck more intelligence into our left leg, that we may use it further to become more Vince later. Now, you might notice that the OSB power there, whatever the hell it's called, adrenaline, you still actually see the hit indicators even though you're not taking any damage. I'm not really sure what that's innate of. You can actually take damage while you have it switched on though, because you are not immune to explodiums. So obviously there's a flimsy metal gate here, which in a game full of explosions and big stupid guns we can't do anything about at all, so we're going to have to circumvent it by going up these stairs and stuff instead. I suppose that's what they have to do as well when they're doing workmany things in this area. There's a little watchtower over there as well, I don't know what that's for either. You, sir, what's the watchtower for? You'll have to tell me, otherwise I'll shoot you in the head, much as I would have done anyway. You can't put atoms into that, you've run out. So, we have to scan the power source, which is what we had to do the last time, but now they've updated it, so I guess it's now an even better power source. Ah, Power Spike has been detected. He's my arch nemesis, you see. I have to watch out for him whenever I try and comment one of these videos, because he'll come in here with his cape and superpowers and disrupt me. He's a terrible fellow. Meanwhile, down there is a military hamster run. They're trying to train giant hamsters, which they will then roll over those bucket wheel excavators and into the mine, that they may dig things out with their teeth, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure of the specifics. It seems a very silly idea, though. Oh, yes, hamsters are scavengers, so this has further evaluated my theory. That's not the right word. You, sir, I'm going to explode you. So they tell us that the scavenger's present, but they don't tell us that these guys are present. These guys are psychos. They act exactly like psychos in Borderlands sometimes do, by raising up a grenade and throwing it at you, along with themselves, though. It's a unique tactic. Now, they managed to hit the mines there accidentally, which they're capable of doing, but only one type of troop in the game is capable of detecting mines routinely, and we'll be seeing them real soon. Like, that guy's going over there to thwart my combo. What a baddie he was. So, let's load that back up, and then this psychopath will come around this corner, trying to do his thing, but he'll fail because of my mines. Now, for some reason, the mines actually take a while to cut off sometimes, much like they did there. That guy was clearly on the mines, but they hadn't noticed him. They are silly mines, you see. They are silly like everything else in this game, especially the lady on the other end of our radio. Here she goes. Let's listen to her.
That's another power line. These things
And
are
the same
everywhere.
objective again. Yeah, fucking power lines. Lady, why are you so racist against power lines?
Seem to lead out from the mine to other places, which is
How can you tell?
odd.
Yes, it's odd that power lines lead from a mine. How can you tell the difference between a power line leading from a mine and a power line leading to a mine? Did you question the electricity in detail or something? Who knows? Let's load this back up and carry on shooting the guys. You, sir, get out of it. You cannot fire at that dirt a moment longer. It was mine. There's the power source. We finally found it. So let's go over here and scan it, I guess?
This infrastructure must have taken a lot to build, yet there's no evidence of it being constructed.
Aside
No
from being
plans,
there.
nothing.
What, do you expect them to, like, pin the plans to the thing or something, or is he
Chatter,
just running
the RTD
instantaneous
commander
computer
at the east
searches?
end of the mine. The UAV's pinpointed his location.
What UAV? There isn't a UAV here. What are you talking about, you strange woman? Okay, so you're actually going to see a death in this video, and it's coming up soon. It happened because I tried to use the melee attack, and when I do that, I want you to just look at when the weapon drops off the bottom of the screen, because that's when the melee attack... a second before that is when the melee attack actually started. Death in this game has no actual consequences other than that it resets your kill chain, which usually doesn't matter because if you've got a half-decent kill chain you're going to get an A rank anyway. Meanwhile, throwing grenades over there will somehow be effective. You, sir, stop being there, I'm going to lose my kill chain on you. That's because you're a baddie, you see. In fact, I think I end up getting more points because I died here because of losing that kill chain there, but never mind that. I think it's only about 1500 to get an A rank in this level, and anything above that is pointless, but let's go up here, because that scavenger that I missed before has laid his mines in a trap-like position. So let's try and pursue him and melee him like so. Okay, keep watching this now. Watch this. I'm going to run up to him and... yeah, that's incredible, isn't it? You can get a skill kill with that, but you have to get a different kind of skill kill. It's not just meleeing someone, that doesn't count. It has to be like a headshot, which you can get with the knife, even though it has no aiming point, or you have to get them with like a backstab or something. Or I guess you could figure out a way to get them with an explosion, but I'm not really sure how you would proceed with doing that. Ah, good. It's done that again, has it? So, okay, so that's the checkpointing. It's not very great. It puts us back before this whole firefight that we had already virtually won. So that kill was mine, which is good, and those kills were also mine, but they were actually credited to the grenade, which I don't think was really fair on me, but never mind. So there comes the Psycho. Look, he's got a grenade held high, and if we shoot him, he explodes like, and we counted a headshot for that somehow. I'm not really sure how that works, but never mind. You can also shoot the grenade, which I think counts as a grenade kill, and will count as a grenade kill on everyone around you as well. Around him, rather. Not around you. That doesn't make any sense at all, does it? Let's snipe at these men down here in order to evade, making sense a minute longer. So now we've got some 666 going on in our score. We are satanic, as it were. So and now we have unsataned ourselves. If only it were that easy for the Labour Party. So here come some men. Let's back up and see what we can do about them. Let's become invincible at them. That will make sense. Like so, we'll shoot at these guys here and get them with all of our bullets in all of their heads, you see. That's how we roll around here, and that's how we roll down here too. Meanwhile, another one of these guys has come along. I'm not really sure what that's in aid of, but let's go cyclic on him and defeat him that way. Then we'll take careful aim at this guy here and manage to lose our kill chain of all places here, because that was wonderful. Yes, so load that back up, and then this guy here is shooting us. As you might see, it is supposed to skip out the pull on the charging handle there when you are under fire, but it's really bad at figuring that out. You basically have, I think you have to be taking hits for it to count or something, and really you shouldn't be reloading while you're taking hits anyway, so that's foolishness. You, sir, why are you still inactive when all of your friends have already run up the stairs? Do you not realize what is going on in the schedule of life? You. Another Psycho there, he just plosioned everything, so now we can finish off everything else and proceed onwards, because there is an objective marker there telling us that we should proceed in the only direction it's possible for us to do so. So we'd have to assassinate the militia agent, but I can't be bothered to do that, so let's just throw some mines down here and wait for him to assassinate himself. He's pretty good at that sort of thing, you see. He crashes through the wall, and then he probably shouldn't have put that little tag on his head that says assassinate. That might not have been the greatest strategy ever. So there he goes, and then he flops to the ground, much like the developers did. Now let's have a look at his weapon this time. There it is. It's a...
So much for militia intelligence. They didn't see you coming, did they? See what the operative had with him.
Well, he had a Browning M2 with silliness attached to it, I suppose. Wait, what? He didn't have that with him. I haven't even picked anything up.
A door. What the hell is it doing here?
They're not meant to have that kind of technology.
None of it belongs in Tasanga. Whatever's hiding behind that
door. Doors don't belong in Tasanga. My eyes, my god. Dr. Carol is hiding behind that door from the looks of things. Good lord.
Go down the rabbit hole?
She's kind of bipolar, really, isn't she? It's like, oh my god, what is that doing here? Ready to go down the rabbit hole? It's just a silly person. So, you might notice that, like, it says top skill shot, but obviously since the skill shots aren't ranked, I think it just reports the one that you got the most instead. So, that's silly as well. And once again, we managed to get an A rank, despite the fact that we died. There is no actual penalty for dying in this game, except that your kill chain gets reset. I think I said that, but this game has that effect on me, I'm afraid. So, what are we going to do now? Well, we're going to do a target interior now. The target are the baddies in this. They have futuristic armor and no meaningful role in the plot. Once again, they failed to come up with a name for anything, so here we go. Once again, we're in West Africa, and we've got to zoom in on it so we can find out about things. There we go, and I don't think it's up there. It's the levitating fortress city, you see. The network has no record of this facility. Get inside, find out who built it and why it's here. Take extra care. A facility this well hidden is bound to be heavily defended. But she does know about the target because she's in one of these bases. She actually says later she's in a base exactly like this one. And since these bases are like all modular, which is definitely not an excuse to recycle level geometry, that should mean that she knows everything there is to know about this base. So let's go through here with our suppressed pets, not do that and say we did, in fact. So these interiors are actually probably the best looking areas of this game. Not that really means a lot. Okay, so there's a lot of destructibility in these levels. There's lots of pretty nice particle effects, although really they do kind of look like the effects you get associated with Dark Samus in Metroid Prime. So And that's the thing as well. So you can blow up lots of stuff in these areas. You can even damage the walls for once, and there's an atrocious glass effect there. So we have to disable the security in order to proceed onwards. Smash that, and then we press a button. That's the kind of involvement we have in this game. What key I found? Oh yes, the key I did not find. So that's what the weapon caches look like in this level, which they kind of don't tell you, but they do stick a big stupid icon on them instead. But there are no new weapons here. Yes, it does.
And yet somehow they've managed to stay out of the world's spotlight.
So this is like just some random conspiracy factory. They don't really tell you who the target are, but then again, they're pretty bad at telling you anything about anything in this game.
Lockdown in progress.
Oh no, men.
Warning. Advanced body armor detected.
Okay, so by advanced body armor, they mean that most weapons will take multiple headshots to kill these guys. So here we go. Target troops. We have to kill them. They are armed with the one of the game's 2 futuristic weapons. It's called the Calica, which, from what I can find online, is the Hawaiian form of the name Claudia, which means the lame one, which is actually a fairly good label for that weapon, as it turns out. It's supposed to be a railgun, but actually it's basically just an assault rifle with a 100-round magazine that has the characteristics of an SMG, and it's completely useless. You'll see me using it in the next target interior, because they don't let you pick it up in this one, even though these guys all drop one, you see. We have to find it in the arms cache instead. Meanwhile, let's glitch our gun back into motion, and then we'll have one last guy to deal with, because I've worked out how to throw grenades at people, and they have no means of dealing with that with their advanced body armor. There you go. Yes, it is. I guess it's stupid rather than advanced. Okay, so let's have a look at one of their rifles, shall we? Their silly Rayleigh guns. Now, this is the weapon that I think was supposed to have an alt fire, because they can use it as a sniper rifle or a fully automatic submachine gun-y rifle-y thing, but we can't, so we just have to make do with it firing really fast in an uncontrollable manner. Now, meanwhile, they're going to do later on one of the things that you tend to see in like those generic horror enemy introductions, where you start seeing them mysteriousing their way across the area before you end up fighting them, and ultimately it's silly because all of those sequences are exactly the same. But we've already fought target troops at that point, so I don't really know why they do it. It's like the bit where they do that with the second teleport dropper in Quake 4, really, because that's a good game to be referencing, you see. Plenty of people have played it. You, sir, why are you corrupting my references and blowing up the ceiling? I don't know what you're up to, but I think the internet needs to be told of it. So, now, I'd love to say I didn't know what just happened there, but I actually do know what just happened there. For some reason, the gun pulls violently to the right for one frame and then corrects itself. And maybe it was just trying to leave too, much like that militia commander was. At least he can be proud of the fact that he isn't in this game anymore, even though he might not agree with the circumstances of his exit. So, down here we continue going and into another room, you see. So yeah, I think that flight of stairs is in every single target. Yeah, oh my god, who could that possibly have been? Maybe it's the people I've been fighting so far. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe. Okay, so this is the thing. Target troops can shoot mines, but no one else can, except accidentally. They can also throw grenades, which is bad of them. Here's another one of these places where the objective indicator screws up, because what we're actually supposed to do at the moment is go right and find out that there's a locked door there. If you do that, you will get yourself a message telling you to go where the objective marker is currently pointing us. But since we're just following the objective marker here, I'm not going to ever go there, and so a line later on is not going to make any sense. Meanwhile, the Retractatrons have done that, I suppose. I think he's as confused by it as we are, because he's not really using them to their fullest effect. But never mind, we'll shoot him in the head and continue ever onwards on our quest to disable whatever this place is. So we threw a grenade at that, and that killed off the last 2 of those guys. And now for the first time in this entire Let's Play, you're about to see me use the peek and lean mode, which is supposedly a big gimmick of this game, but turns out to be totally useless because it's a fast-paced FPS where you move around a lot. So, a lot of reviews of this game will say that you cannot use normal iron sights in this game and still move around. As you've probably been noticing, that isn't true. What you have to do that is half-hold the iron sight button. If you hold it down fully, you'll go into this peek and aim mode, which strikes me as being completely backwards, since you spend way more time using the normal iron sights than you do using the peek and aim mode. Because really there isn't much call for peeking out at things when you've got an analog movement stick anyway, and this game was never on the PC, so I'm not really sure why they implemented the whole thing at all. You, sir, stop trying to hide from being in this game. I know it's a temptation, but you must resist it. Oh, we'll get that ready again, and then we will look at his drifty particles grenade. So, these are the targets. They are the greatest military force on the planet, as proven by the fact that they all just blew themselves up. That's what they were up to over there. So here we go, we're actually leaning out here. for once. So there we go. That's that function totally justified its place in the game, I suppose. Okay, so around here is the man who plosioned himself. He is lying in an embarrassed, crunchy heap, he is. What a silly you are, sir. They've also got a silly little... Okay, so let's grab this through a plate glass window. I'm not really sure precisely how we did that. And this is a little oddity here. If you walk up to these, they smash. That doesn't happen in the next level.
After a failed sabotage attempt. Haven't been able to trace them through regular channels. Good news, they'll definitely take care of that door.
Okay, so that door that we haven't seen yet. Okay, so let's throw a grenade at these guys. Oh wow, a grenade, that's awesome. No, you don't get to be blown up by that one. Instead, you get to be blown up by that one. These two guys are all confuzzled by our behaviors, and that one's going to take cover in front of the shutter. That's clever of him, you see. I don't think they really got their AI right for these guys. I'm not really sure what they're aiming for, but they didn't get it. I am aiming for this guy, though, and I am definitely going to get him. You, sir, get out of it. So it's kind of a problem in this game is that the entire intel system really isn't designed for you taking on a small number of very tough enemies, and neither is the ammo drop system, because obviously you have to get them killed, like... I imagine on higher difficulties it gives you less ammo, at least I hope it does, because you hardly ever run out here unless you're going cyclic at every available opportunity. But you definitely run out of intel very easily in these levels, which is a bit annoying in the later ones because they are very, very hard later on. In fact, they're the only thing that is hard in this game. So let's walk over to the waypoint. That's waypoint, dude, so...
These guys are definitely not local. We haven't found anything we can use yet. I want to know what's behind that door.
Probably another door, knowing you. Okay, so we planted the charge, which for some reason also is exactly the same as the C4 charge, and we blew a hole in this. So, here we go. This is what they are hiding. It is the pause menu. So, I did that because I had to go and turn off my alarm clocks briefly, but what they are hiding is a depot of sorts. So let's explore its ways and find out what was written on those crates we saw in the first level. So they got some trucks here, I'm not really sure why, and they've also got loads and loads of these ammo cases and some shipping containers just to make the world a more generic place, you see. I do always like the look of these places and the way that you can even damage the walls in these areas. There's also HK there, which I'm not really sure that they know about, but let's walk around here and... ooh, Butterfingers. Silly me, I just keep dropping these mines for some reason. This is one of these old school things in this game that actually is at least reasonably good, is the fact that the game isn't nearly over-designed enough to stop you from doing things that sabotage what it's trying to do later. So I'm going to place all of these around here, which certainly won't be in any way relevant later on, and then we're going to have a look around here. There's a 28 up there, that's a good thing, I suppose. So through there, even though there is nothing you could possibly do with it, I guess maybe at one point there might have been, is another one of those ammo terminals, but we don't want that and we don't care about it. So let's have a look down here, which will cause a plosion in a moment. So what does it say on these then? Well, one shell, 120mm TK, Prac SH, what is it, L32A6. That is, Prac SH stands for practice shot. That is a 120mm practice round for the rifled gun of the British Challenger tank. I guess they just bought a random ammo case and then copied it, and meanwhile we're going to wiggle at it. That's pervy of us, I suppose. So, oh my god, the security force is inbound. What shall we do about this dreadful menace?
Enemy troops inbound.
I do at least like that this is possible, I suppose. Even he's confused. Oh my god, what the hell just happened? That was supposed to be our big entrance. They are actually meant to like form up into a V shape there, and I'm kind of surprised the game doesn't crash if it doesn't work or something. That wouldn't really have put it past them. But it is nice that you can do things like that, even if outsmarting this game isn't a particularly impressive feat all told. So, now we're going to get rid of the last of these guys. It's normally a very hard fight, especially since you don't have any decent weapons for dealing with these guys yet, but we have sabotaged it, and I am proud of that fact. You, sir, stop throwing grenades at that nothing. That's not me, and I don't agree with being associated with it. So, let's pass back around here, reload that, and then we'll have one last dude here who's going to run out at us and try and do things. There we go, we're blasting the paneling off the wall even. Okay, so we've got to escape from the bunker, which is done by not being in this room, I suppose. So let's pick up some grenades, and then one last guy will run out of there. You, sir, I hate that war. I hate you too, but that's not in the service of anything. So I'll load that back up again. And now it's time for me to show off the explosive rounds, because I realise that I'm not exactly going to get a good kill chain here anyway, so you will see that shortly. Don't get excited about it, though. So, there we go. Oh. Well, that didn't work. Let's try a different plan. We will try the sneaking around and shooting the guy plan. There we go. That was at least a somewhat effective plan, but here we go. These are the explosive rounds. What, you thought they'd actually explode? No, they just changed the sound effect of the weapon and the muzzle flash effect. Because that's what an explosion does? Maybe? I don't know. But now it's time for us to make our escape. We'll have to make our escape through the... Yes, there's actually a pretty confusing indicator since it looks like it's going to be over there or something. As it turns out, you have to go through this completely dark room here that doesn't really look like it's a door unless you're looking at it from the side, like. So that's another wondrous thing, and through here we go to another one of those doors that they shouldn't have the technology to build, you see. And then after that we get into, I think it's 2 recycled levels, which is marvelous. So, that's not a word. Anyway, so we have ended the mission, and that is my best score for that level, and we will get the... Yay. Hooray! So, that has been that. I have been Evil Tim, and this has been Bodycount. You will all go off and have a good day, you will, yes.